Let's talk about Form 6 lightsaber combat, the Nemon form. Alright, we're discussing the Diplomat's form, the Moderation form, the most prevalent form at the end of the Jedi Order. Now, why is that? It's because this is the form of balance. It allows a Jedi to be competent and capable with his blade, but focus his attention on something else. So, it's one of the most diverse schools of combat because its practitioners specialize in many different things, not only the blade. And this describes the general mindset of someone who practices the form. You have a broad set of skills because the world is broad, because there could be any number of different possible solutions to any problem that you're presented with. And as a diplomat, as someone who is sent out to help do things right, as you find yourself placed in situations by the Force, you learn the ways to perceive, to think about, to relate to other people, things, and places. And in doing so, you learn not only to empathize with them, but how to help them and how to use their strengths against them if necessary. And that's what a Nemon specialist does in the rare instance where they do find themselves in a combat situation. They're perfectly competent with a blade and capable, and they'll use it if necessary, but probably not going to come to that because first and foremost, a Nemon specialist is going to focus on controlling the battlefield in a way that makes anyone that's fighting alongside them or just themselves if they're alone, it gives them an overwhelming advantage. Not through force, as other forms would either have an overwhelming defense that is incapable of being penetrated, or an overwhelming offense that you cannot be stopped because you are too strong. A Nemon specialist knows what force you are exerting, and they counteract it equally with their mind. And the pre-planning, the pre-knowledge, you're like Batman, basically. You know the situation and you have the tools to solve it. And the Force has provided those tools. And the main tool of a Nemon specialist isn't their lightsaber, it's telekinetics, it's the Force, it's moving things. If in the rare instances where you did not come prepared and you find yourself in a combat situation where you may not have the means to get yourself in a situation where you're the one that's having the advantage, you would just push your opponent away, push some stuff in their way, and you would be gone. That's the type of philosophy of a Nemon specialist. You're not ending your mission. You're not stopping doing what is necessary, what the Force has guided you here to do, but you're putting yourself in the situation that will have the outcome that you think is right, that will be most advantageous for the most people, or that you have been tasked with providing, what outcome you have been told to make happen. And you have the power to do this because you have the Force, because you understand the Force and you understand how the Force moves through all beings. You can feel that. You can feel the exact right moment to put forth the most minimal amount of force to produce the outcome that you want. That's the true power of a Niman specialist. And they would use the same exact mental philosophy in combat. If I'm actually trading blows with you in combat, I mean, I'm only waiting until the exact right moment to strike. I'm not actually trading blows with you. I'm letting you think that I'm trading blows with you, because that is where I need to be to get you into the situation where I will have the advantage. That's the only reason you would do that. Or, of course, if you were sacrificing yourself for your allies, which a Niman specialist is more than willing to do. But any Jedi would do that. That's not just for us. So yes, when you're trying to portray a Jedi who has dedicated themselves to the diplomat's form, to the way of moderation, make sure you're always incorporating those thoughts into your mind. You're waiting. You're listening. You're letting your allies draw out the information. You're only reaching into the mind of whoever you're interacting with at that key point when your ally asks that one key question that you've been waiting to find out the truth about. And boom, there you are. You're the lever that the story moves around. You're the crux, because you know when and how to act. Now that may be difficult, that may be hard to role play effectively, but your GM's going to be there to help you, and your other players, they have the same goal as you. So let them be the Force, because obviously we don't have the Force in real life. That's some made up stuff. So let them be the Force. Let them show you, oh, this must be important. They're really getting into it. You could tell when that guy who he doesn't RP that much, but he's sitting here questioning this person. You're like, well, damn, if he's asking questions about this, he must be concerned about the situation here. Now let's do what we can to aid him, because he is also a tool to you. As much as your lightsaber, your allies and your enemies are equally your tool as a Niman specialist. Everything is, and that's not a dark side thing. That's not an evil thing where like, oh, I'm going to utilize them to my own ends. You're a Jedi. You don't have your own ends. You're a selfless individual. Your ends is to make the Force be balanced, to not see imbalance in the Force, and to protect life and the Republic, basically. You're the good guy. So you have to think about it from that point of view. I mean, you have extreme power. It's the Spider-Man principle. With great power comes great responsibility. You have the greatest power in the galaxy. You can command the Force. And the entire point of Niman was to rein in, was to control the extreme power that Jedis wield. Because other Jedi had focused their power to such a point where it took them down paths that everybody could see were problematic. So the Niman form says, let's step back. We got blue screen now. Let's step back. Let's take a broad look at the Force and the galaxy that we inhabit, and let's only do what we must, and only when we must. So that's we'll end with that. I'll leave you with that in mind as we think about how to properly portray a Niman specialist when you RP him, and really delve into the philosophy. So thanks a lot. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this. Hopefully we'll have a lot more interesting discussions in the comments section below, and we can really get into it. Thank you.